It depends.
No, I'm going to his place.
And we're live.
No,
We're going live now. Oh, it is what it is on
not my house.
Facebook.
Not yet. I have problems with stalkers in the past, so I don't.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like if you don't really know, then that would be a watch out for me of letting people know where you live before you really get to know them super well, right? That would be a watch out. But anyway,
Right. Except I have a duplex or a triplex, really.
Welcome
If he doesn't know
to the Great Pill Podcast. As always, your friend with the most and jealous. Go to the top. You got Mika Meeks. Yay! And always you got as always my brother from the mother.
hey.
You got Primal. You can check them out at Primal Studies. Always every Sunday between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Did I get that right, sir?
Yes, sir. We'll do tomorrow 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So I guess that's something else for you if you're not on Central Time. I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Exactly. And like always, Poppy Blanco. Beep, beep, beep,
How you
beep,
doing?
beep.
How you doing?
What's going on, man? You can catch me at Poppy Blanco TV YouTube channel. Again, Poppy Blanco TV. And he just went live in his testing, I say like last week, sir?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was
All right,
last
cool.
Friday.
So he'll be doing his little dates and shout out. We'll have that in the conversation later on. But currently we will be having a conversation about does size matter? So check us out. Subscribe, please subscribe and help us out with everything else. Hit the like button. It helps us out with algorithm. And here we go. I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of hot.
What is that from? What is that from? Because I feel like what universe does a samurai ghost warrior have a minigun? Where the hell is that even?
How you doing, lady? If anybody, this for the viewers, if you haven't seen the movie Sucker Punch, is a very, very interesting and a good movie. So I don't want to say anything about it because it's like if any little details a spoiler. So don't think sci-fi. Whatever you're thinking of, you see that intro has nothing to do with the movie at all. It's a very good movie. I promise you. It's not sci-fi.
All right, I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's very, very good movie. All right. So again, we have a special guest here, so we'll introduce her real quick before we get started. Hey, how you doing, Miss Robin? Robin
yes.
K.
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. And you? How are we doing? Welcome to the Great Pill Podcast.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
You're fine.
You got the fluffies.
I was gonna say that's not mine. That's not mine.
Yeah.
Oh, those are mine. Those are mine.
Mine have a little more bass. Mine.
Oh yeah, they're big.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a discussion and a very interesting conversation about what does size matter. So we're all adults, we're grown here, so we do understand that size matters in some cases. Some do, some don't. So we're going to break that down and have a conversation about it, and hopefully a fun one. So I have a little clip here, and we'll pretty much get it kicking from there, and then we can just start the conversation.
I tried the Nair. It was really good.
All right, can everybody see the screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Audio, 1 second.
Looking at ways to increase your penile size. But does it really matter to your partner? I'm Dr. Rina Malik, urologist and pelvic surgeon. And if you're new here, we talk about all things urology. We talk about sexual education, overactive bladder, urinary incontinence, kidney stones, cancer, all sorts of different things. But today
I like her.
Question. Does care how big your penis is? Last year in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, they surveyed 303 women. No, it's not a huge cohort. So yes, it may not be representative of all women, but it's a pretty good cohort. And what they asked them was, does the size of your partner's penis matter for your sexual satisfaction? And they asked them a number of questions. And the first question was, do you find the size of your partner's penis satisfactory? And guess what? 89%. So almost all women reported yes. For the large majority of women, if you're thinking about 300 men and their partners are probably in the normal distribution. And you can check out my video on average penile length, but it's about 5 inches. And so if you are within the normal distribution,
I can see guys now sitting there measuring themselves like, yeah.
of penile length, then your partner is probably satisfied with the length that you offer them. When they asked, do you think that the size is important for your satisfaction, less than half, 43% responded yes. So it's still somewhat important, but it's not 100%. And interestingly, when people asked if the bigger the penis, does that increase your sexual satisfaction, only 29% agreed, whereas 51% said it didn't matter. 51% said it didn't matter. And I'm going to share this last tidbit of information because I think it'd be really interesting for my audience. So when they looked at these women, they asked them what was the greatest contributor to orgasm. And over 60% said vaginal intercourse was the biggest contributor, followed by external stimulation from the partner, and lastly, external stimulation, meaning
That sound poppy against, but we'll continue.
clitoral stimulation by themselves. And interestingly, the fastest trigger to orgasm was external stimulation. So if you're trying to get your partner there as fast as possible, then that's the way to get it. So I will say again, the caveats of this study are that it's one point in time for 300 women. So it may not be generalizable or representative of the entire population, but I think it's a pretty good indication, one, that you don't need to worry so much because likely your partner is very satisfied. 89% of women in this study were, and two, that you can absolutely have different approaches for your partner to orgasm. So thanks so much for watching. As always, remember.
All right, shout out to her. I've been following her lately. I like she's very informative on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about that? We're gonna start with the new guest, Miss Robin K. Any affiliation with the Bat family? Just to throw that out there.
Of course.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, she got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's one of them.
Let me move you on up there past Poppy.
He just did you dirty, Poppy. I mean, he left me in the bottom corner anyway, but he did you dirty, man.
So, what's your take of or the magical question? Do you feel that size matters? Since she gave the statistic on it.
She had a lot of good points to why I don't think it does matter. I mean, obviously, it matters to some degree. Like, a good size is nice, right? But when she talked about external stimulation, that's where it was like, I know a lot of my friends who will say that's kind of what gets them to where they're feeling good.
Correct.
So if you're in a relationship and you really care about that person, there's other ways to, if like, let's say they're not very big, I think I don't think it.
Okay. Now, what about external for you? Like, is because some people take external differently, and I'll go back on a past relationship for myself. I had a female that said that she didn't care for the foreplay, she didn't care for the cunnilingus. She was more interested in just the penetration. That's what pretty much got her off.
Okay. I think honestly, just based off conversations with girlfriends,
Yeah,
like lunches, and Anna knows, or like we talk, but I would say I rarely hear that penetration is like what gets most girls going or what they want. I mean, that seems pretty rare to me.
Okay.
Just based on conversations with friends.
Okay. What about you, Poppy? So now I got the no homo conversation. Clearly, I ain't gonna throw you out like that, Poppy, because we boys. I ain't gonna do you like that. So clearly, guys and you don't be conversating about your swords, but in your general experience, when women come to you or have the oohs and ahs inside and outside of bedrooms, do you feel like size matter you're in, or are you just like, hey, you're two pump chump, you Captain Winky, like what's going on? Or you're in? What you think?
for some reason, most women, if you read like social media and stuff like that, they like to complain.
Okay.
Meaning like they always like if they messing with a guy, that's most likely the first thing's gonna come. He got a little dick. That's the first thing they're gonna say. We got a little dick. That's where do you think that little dick and quote come from? It's to trying to change the man. When it comes to me, I like to play with them first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a cheat code right there. Play with them real quick, buy you some time, and get to drilling. That's how you do it, man. You never fail. You never fail.
Spoken like a true alpha.
Yep.
What about you, Primal? What's your thoughts on everything?
Yeah, no, I really liked. I hadn't seen that and that doctor you had on before. I thought she was pretty well spoken and made a lot of really good points. And I've seen a lot of things from that perspective as well, working in some hospital work, and having seen all sorts of shapes and sizes of things. And it's kind of like whatever works for you works for you. And I've seen people that have had traumatic farming accidents and they had to have surgeries and there wasn't much left there after the surgery, yet their partner was still satisfied with them. They made that work somehow, right? So I think the people that are most worried about the actual size are dudes. Like dudes are the ones that are actually more fixated on how big it is. And to Poppy's point, and I think we already said is like as long as it's big enough, it doesn't have to be like circus show or like, hey, this is the biggest one ever. It just has to be like big enough. And I guess I was kind of surprised that she said the average is 5 because I feel like if you ask any guy, no guy's going to be like, oh yeah, it's 5. So it's just kind of interesting conversation to have. But long-winded answer, I think it matters to a point. But if you're at that average range, then it probably doesn't really matter anymore.
I could have sworn the average size was 7.
7 inches, bro?
That's what I
Maybe in the circles that he runs in.
Yo, you know what?
Yeah, no,
I got
5, bro.
I got asshole friends, so I already know if I even go long with the conversation, and that's me even just saying that part, I already know I'm gonna get jabbed at. But Mika, what's your thoughts on all that?
I have been waiting for this conversation all week.
What else have you been waiting for all week?
I've been waiting for that for 6 months, so shut up. You already knew. So I think that she's right. The average, it's still the same. I looked it up like 2 years ago or a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I noticed it's never asked is about girth, though. Because they always talk about length, but they don't talk about girth.
That's true. Actually, and it's crazy you said that because I actually came across, shout out to Nina Rated. She actually mentioned that one time because her thing, when she had a conversation with Albert Pre, she said not too long, but she was more about girth. That was her feel on it.
That word.
No homo.
Yeah, because I mean, I've heard that just the most sensitive area of the vagina in terms of like nerve endings is actually just like the first inch. After that, it's not nearly as sensitive, but the outer part of the first inch, if you have more girth, then you're going to stimulate more of that. So that's kind of anecdotally what I remember seeing, hearing, reading.
Okay, but what about the walls though? Because now since we're having that conversation about the stimulating part, and I think when Robin said earlier, just that the external part, because usually when I hear external, Robin and Primal is more like you're trying to, because most women is attracted to a guy's mind, you know, how they treat their hearts. And then once you get that, pretty much a perfect example of what Poppy Blanco was explaining in the last stream, but that pretty much became a conflicts of interest to just pretty much just go for broke, pay for box, and just get it when you can get it. Versus where Poppy was saying the external conversation, that's what Robin mentioned. Say, hey, let me wine her, dine her, let me treat her like she's the actual woman that she is.
Blew my mind.
You saw it?
Mm-hmm. I saw it today. I was watching it today.
Exactly. So without expecting anything from the female, and see what happens after the fact, and confirm. Since now you saying it, so it pretty much confirmed for another woman, that would get me more off than just having the actions of attention, just trying to get in my pants. You know what I'm saying?
Dumb.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, can I answer it?
Sure. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. So I think that it's like there's like several different parts, right? There's one part of you have to understand that every female body is different. So I'm more of a external stimulation within the internal, whatever you want to, with penetration. I know a lot of girls that are solely penetration. I know other, like, they literally don't even have to be touched and they have an orgasm. There's other girls that need to have stimulation and don't care about penetration. It just, there's a difference. And there's also another study that shows that most women don't actually, I think it's like 40% of women don't, is it 40? Yeah, 40% of women don't have an orgasm until they start to hit 30 and older, which means that most women don't actually get to know their, most women don't actually get to know their own body to have that climax until that age that they start to get to know their body, of like which one they are. So then you take that into account, and like there's also, like you talked about it earlier, where it's like most women that I know of, like, unless most quality women that are looking for something real are going to be attracted to a man's mind and his heart and how he behaves and all of those things. A part of that, I was having this conversation with someone that it was like, that's also like big dick energy versus small dick energy, because I can tell you straight away, the guys that I've hooked up with that have been smaller tend to be more like yappy, like attention seeking, and like very like aggressive and very like, you know what I mean? And the guys with big dick energy tend to be like, what's up, mama? What's up? You know what I mean?
I got this big dick waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. And like those are the guys that are like, when I'm like, no, it's okay, they're like, cool, see you later. And I'm like, oh wait, come back. Like so there's several different factors, I think, that all attribute to what big versus small, but it's also like, I personally am more of like a girth rather than length, because there's also, you could say
out.
like,
God damn it, I'm out. Okay, cool. I'm a 2-pump child. Just go ahead,
you could also say that, like, because I like my, fuck it. So like my ex was 8, right? But he was thin. So what, to me, it's like, what's the point of being 8 if it's so thin? Because the what actually attributes to a climax is how you penetrate the walls. And he said it perfectly. After the first insertion, the walls start to like get lubed up, and then it starts to feel less frictiony. You start to feel less tense. And so you essentially start feeling less of that expansion. And the G spot is what makes it so that a woman can orgasm and have that climax internally as opposed to externally. So if you're factoring all that shit together, what it means is the thinner is harder to climax with than the thicker.
Okay, now I got to clap back because the fact you said that, and I'm not gonna say I'm an expert in womanese, but
I've been diving. I've been all week. I'm like, let's do it.
let's do it. So okay, now since you said that, and I feel like now you're trying to put more pressure. When you say that, it's not you doing it intentionally, but it's bad enough for us, the guys, the men, when we hear stuff like that, like the size matter, we pretty much have like a internal anxiety for ourselves. Like, not trying to say I'm going to look at poppies, but if we're in the bathroom, you might have that one guy kind of lean over to the corner and have that mental block. Men do have. I'm getting there. I'm coming around.
I got a good one for you.
I know. I'm coming around with it.
Okay.
So, with that being said, isn't it fair to say women should, when you make that claim, like, hey, this is what it is, and if it's thinner, so why can't women take the extra steps for themselves? Because there is devices and measures and techniques women can do to make their quote unquote I'm trying to say the YouTube vulva area more tighter versus and more wider.
Kegels.
Thank you.
Yep. And that's part of the thing. So there's two things. One is like there's Kegels, absolutely, women, just like I feel like men should. There's a lot of men, not a lot. I've met quite a few though that don't. I get it. Like some guys like to keep their testosterone, so they don't jack off as much. I don't know how else to say it. And if you're gonna do that, if you're not gonna do the deed for yourself, then at least like practice it so that when you do go into a session with a girl, you don't climax right away. And number two, you can actually, it's still a piece of muscle. So the more you exercise that muscle, you keep that girth. And the same thing with women, the more you exercise that muscle, the more you can clench and you can utilize those muscles during intercourse. And I have a story because I remember I was like 21 or 22 and I was with this guy I was in love with, right? But he was small. He was like really small. To this day, I have never had just an orgasm from penetration alone other than from that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so there is something to be said about like not the size of the boat, but the motion of the ocean.
There you go.
And
I
not
was
say
gonna say
that's
that because you can have
bullshit.
somebody who has like a lot of size, but they just I don't know.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
That's such a good point.
Like it. If
Sit on it.
Energy
Just
is not
sit on
there,
it.
you guys just don't. Your bodies don't vibe. I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's like it really doesn't. Like you can have a big size, but it's not. It won't do it for you.
Okay, well, is that a deal breaker? Is that a deal breaker for you personally, Robin?
No, I
Okay.
don't. No.
All right, now I got you to be a jerk. So, dude coming in with 2 inches, no girth, but he checks all the boxes. You okay with that?
I mean,
At least make it realistic. I'm gonna have to defend her. At least make it realistic.
3.5.
Let's say 4. Let's say 4.
No, 3.5.
4 is realistic. It's happened.
3.5.
is 3.5 even realistic?
It's
Yeah,
not
I mean, if
4.
you're Chinese.
Okay, 4. So that I think.
And
You're talking about external.
let me just add the asshole factor in. The fact that you looked up top left corner of your eye got me suspicious of you now. So go ahead, continue.
Well, okay. So what I would say is it's based off the circumstances, like how much effort you talked about external, and I think external is physical or mental, because that matters too. If I mentally have a connection with you and you put time and effort, and I'm like, I know you, I'm falling for you, then I really don't think it matters. But if that's all we're here to do, then in that case, maybe yes and no. Yes and no, as in we could bring other objects in, other ways of, pleasure to make it happen.
Now, your female friends that you mentioned earlier, are they willing to do something like that? Like, let me take the time out to invest in other avenues to be satisfied? Because even with most women, they say like, the sizes and shapes and girth and all that stuff they want, they will still, even during or even after the fact, like, hey, let me go get the rolls or something like that to get that extra incentive.
Yeah, I mean, most of the conversation I can remember is a bunch of us girls at a dinner table, and it was like talking about how often do you orgasm, right? And some of them, like Mika was saying, some people don't ever experience it. There's actually a TV show, it's like by Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop, where there's one episode, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but she brings like kind of like, it's like a woman who teaches women how to understand their bodies, because a lot of women don't even know that they haven't experienced an orgasm, right? So some people haven't gotten familiar with their bodies, but that's where the women I've talked to at this particular conversation, there's a good group of women. They were willing to do, like, bring in extra little things and spice it up and make it fun and do whatever it was. And that's especially if you have that mental connection with somebody, I think. You want to be with them regardless. I think women fall for men, like, emotionally a lot easier. So if I like you and I like what you're about, we're making it work. You know,
you're gonna make the 3.5 work.
I didn't say 3.5.
4.
Go ahead, Primo.
I was gonna say, imagine if guys had to jump through as many hoops, in generally speaking, to orgasm as women did. We'd be just be sitting around full of testosterone. I mean, there's a hundreds of $1 million passion parties, and there's a whole business. How many of those are actually catered towards men? There's like 1 or 2 products. How many things are out there to service women? Like, just think about the difference. There's a huge disparity. And I mean that in that, like, it's just harder. I would say it's just more work and more effort for a woman to have a climax or have a good sexual experience. It's not that it doesn't happen or can't happen, but it's just, it takes more effort. And there's all sorts of industries out there that help facilitate that. I'm just saying, imagine if half of the time, Angelus, that you had sex, you didn't have an orgasm. Like, we'd be like, what the hell? What the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
No,
So
you're
it's
right.
just, yeah.
Your thoughts on me?
You know what I like what he said though in the very beginning? Oh, sorry. He said something about it's a lot of times I think guys, it's like guys between guys saying the size matter. I think it's more important to men. You guys make it like kind of a thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
like those big gym bros too. Like, you know who really cares about the big gym bros and how much they lift or how big they are? The other gym bros. It's not the women, generally speaking, that care about, oh, he deadlifted 10 more pounds than this other guy. Nobody cares about that except the other gym bros. Like,
I disagree, man. Females the one that cared about the size. Because you are born, if you're a man, you are born what you're born with.
That's what I'm saying. I think it started with them first.
Yeah,
you started with females first?
If a man got it 2 inches, there's nothing else he can do about it. So he have to stick it somewhere. It's the female that gonna be like, yo, bro, that ain't gonna cut it for me.
No, but like that goes back to like the effort too. Like, how much effort are you putting into her? How do you treat her? How do you like?
Let's cup the cap, man. You know damn well if this man drill you with a 2-inch joint, you're gonna look at that nigga sideways. You know that.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Really?
I really don't. I mean, you said 2 inches, and like, thank you, Minka, because.
All right, 4. Let's make it 3.5.
4. There you go.
4.
Poppy real focused on the numbers here.
Yeah.
He's busy
for
measuring.
reference.
He's a number man.
Yeah.
For reference,
I love it.
we have 3.5
Oh, that's
right
8.
here.
Sorry, that's 8. Yeah.
That's 4.
Wait, 3.5
That's
right
that's
here.
why when you ask me, hey Matt, what's 8 inches look like? I'm like this. How big is 8 inches?
8
like this, right? Yeah.
right?
And then we have
I'm
4.
I'm making a joke. Yeah.
Okay, so
You know what? I could tell you this. We could do this. 3 inches to my G spot. We could do this. This could work.
Well,
you're gonna clown that man when you get with your girlfriend. Like, girl, let me tell you something.
What I saw.
I have. That's the worst part.
Huh?
But here's another interesting one.
That's the worst part.
But hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. That 3 inches better come with some benefits attached to it. The benefit, yeah, and that's versus what my high value man is. So like I said earlier, like picking me up for a date, asking me what I like, interested in my hobbies. If I'm going through shit, like, hey, how are you? Being supportive. I really look for like a protector. Not that I can't defend myself, but someone that's like, no, that's my baby, right? It's all those things are going to make me think about him in a manly manner. Like that's my guy. Emotionally, I'm gonna be attached. My vagina is just gonna be like, hello, my kingdom. Like 3.5 and give you 10 pumps.
Why are you making it
Poppy
this way, Poppy?
throwing out these nightmare scenarios.
You are
He's like, let me tell you about the worst
Hey,
sexual experience you can ever
you
have.
just want
Are you still
all
going to be with him? Are you still
all
going to be
you're
with him?
fishing for. All you're fishing for is for me to at some point say
I
he
tell you
ain't
what women
shit.
tell me.
He's a simp. Blah blah blah, and that's not gonna happen here.
No, I don't think he's saying
I'm
that.
telling you what women tell me.
I think he trying to get a point of, like, at the end of the day, if everything is good, check off the boxes that Robin said, and then when it comes to that moment, and he just bear it all, and she's gonna do that.
But that's not
the friends, and then they're gonna talk. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. Number one, Poppy's right about the gossiping with the friends. That's what us girls do. We're like, oh, this happened. Say, like, for the most part, but I'm not done. Hold up. You got to hear it.
Go ahead.
Because at the same time, one thing that we're going to leave out is, oh, he only lasted 10 pumps. Ha, 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 if we actually like the guy. That's where the difference is. Because what we're talking about, we're not putting that on blast. We would probably, let me finish. We would probably, if I talk to Robin, I'm going on a date tonight, right? I'm excited about the date. I really like the guy. If it were to, probably, let's say I go and I do the deed and it's like 3.5 and it's 10 pumps and I'm just like, fuck, but I really, really like the guy. I'm probably going to tell her, like, honestly, the sex was like, okay, I want to see what it's like next time. I'm not going to put him on blast and be like, it was 3.5 inches and he lasted 10 pumps. That's where the difference is, where you find the girls that like are for you and they actually like you. Because the ones that say it and start telling the whole world, oh, he's got that's his length and that's how long he lasted, she's not going to stick around, period. It depends on.
Yeah, she doesn't really
And
like
neither
you.
do you. You
Like
ain't gonna
you.
stick around either. Because if
Huh?
he gave you the 3.5 to 10 pumps, and the second time he turn around and give you 12 pumps, you ain't gonna stick around. You're gonna cheat on that man. Y'all should know
So
that.
2 plus 10 equal
No.
12.
You're talking about no.
That's actually progress.
He's getting close to 50, right? Doesn't that seem hard? He said, I'll give you 50. I'll give you 50, right? I'll give you 50 strokes when I get home.
Yo!
So that's
And
half,
that's the part,
halfway to
I get
50.
it. Like, I get it with the type of women that you may mess around with or that you have in your circle that say this stuff. I'm just letting you know from
Bring
my
the
personal
heat.
experience.
Emotional damage.
Not all women. That's the thing of like you got to
And
have
that's where
a
you confuse,
separation.
baby. I mess
Yeah,
around with all kind of females, from
but that's a
the
separation.
top to all the way in the bottom. Oh, in between. I don't discriminate. I
Poppy's
don't
Listen,
discriminate.
I've been in all
Polar
different
Exotic,
worlds.
That's what he's
I'm
saying.
I
in
don't
the world.
discriminate at all.
Women value.
I'm gonna tell you this.
No,
I'm gonna tell you this. So
Everything
if I'm at the
is
club,
equal
the
opportunity
girls,
right here.
the girls at the club, they're gonna talk all that crap. They're not gonna be about it. It has to be.
But those not
You
my
have to
men,
have.
though.
No, I know. I'm gonna go through them. Those. That's exactly what you're kind of talking about. Of like, God, no, that would never work. The girls that go to church, those girls are freaky. They're like, put it
Yeah,
in my
freaky
ass.
on the girls of the
Like,
You just said that.
yeah, fucking
I was
freakier.
waiting for what you were gonna say there. I was like,
wasn't
yeah,
expecting
let's,
that.
yeah, I was waiting for
But-
it. I was
but
starting to give you the sideways. I was
they
going
would-
there, and then you
they would-
said the right answer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they would work with it. They'd be like, oh, it's flaccid. Let's see what we can do with it anyways, right? So then you've got the girls that like, I've got girlfriends that are from like another group, right? I don't know what the fuck to call it, but those are like iffy, where it's like half of them would probably try and stick around. The other half would probably be like, hell no, screw that. I would never survive. You also have women that are like, have dated around. You said it perfectly, Poppy. You also have women that have been treated like crap, have been deserted by like all sorts of men. They've been treated like they're just a piece of meat or not cared for. And what they're looking for in a man, if they find a man that has 2.5 or just 2, and they treat them like a fucking goddess and they're treating them like a queen, or they're like being supportive and having all the right things for them.
Yeah, but Mika, but he never mentioned about penis size though. He mentioned about something else.
No, we're talking about the type. I'm just saying, like, you have to go through different avenues to find the type of woman that's okay with that. You're most of them are not at the club. Most of them are probably at church. Half of them are probably at the gym. Like, it's just a differentiating. I'm just saying, like, the idea, we can't say that all women would be okay and believe that size doesn't matter. And we can't say that all women believe size matters.
You are right, but when we talk, we cannot just say case by case. We got to talk like what is the majority. And the majority that I hear, the women complain when homeboy ain't packing. Most women, they want somebody that is packing.
And to add to his conversation,
and I agree with that.
I agree with that. Somebody who's packing, you do.
I agree with that.
If you ain't pull out,
that would be nice. That would be nice. But
you need to walk around with a 9mm around here.
So it does matter. So it does. So probably. So it
Hold
does
on,
matter.
let her say it. Let her say it. Let her say
Go
it.
ahead.
Because she's nicer than me, guys.
Do we have preferences? Yeah, I mean, sure we do. But like, okay, so let me bring up my ex. My ex, when we were first talking, he explained it like this one day. He was telling me about him meeting another girl, and he's like she was instantly trying to hook up with him, and he was like, we could do that. I mean, everybody can do that. And he's like, but I kind of want to just like talk to you. Correct. And him investing her that way, I think, and then even me hearing that, I was like, yeah, I do want to like get to know you more. Like, I want to know you because I can do this with anybody, right? But that investment, that initial emotional investment, the dates, all of that, like you create a connection there, especially if you prolong that. So do I still have preference? Do I still hope for whatever? Of course. But once that connection is there, I don't really think it's going to matter after you really have invested that time.
I don't really think you can hope to make it get bigger if it's already like 4
No,
inches.
you're not hope.
No, you can.
Well,
You can.
I mean,
Like,
I would say
like,
here's an interesting take on it. I would say it's kind of similar to height. Like most women, if you talk to most women, they're going to say, hey, I'd like a guy that's 6 foot or taller. That's going to be a lot of women out there, right?
Fair.
And there's nothing you can do to change that. Like a guy can't just get taller unless he's young, right? But for most adult men, you're not going to get taller. And I think most women, they would be like, hey, I want a guy that's packing 6 inches. Am I going to break up with him if it's only 5? No, but maybe it's not quite the same. But I can work with that. But I also think there's like a cutoff at some point of where, like, all right, a woman wants a man that's 6 foot tall, but she's willing to go out with a guy that's 5'8", 5'9", but maybe she's not willing to go out with a guy that's only 5 foot. I think there's like parameters of, okay, yeah, maybe I want 7 inches, but it's only 5. I can still work with that. But if we're talking like smaller than that, then there's probably like a bottom line cutoff, I would say. And that's kind of the like below average line. And to be below average, you're going to be falling in that like bottom 20th percentile. So that's not going to be most people.
Okay, let me read these. Let me read a few of these real quick before we dive a little bit further. Shout out to you, Marcus, and I appreciate you, Marcus. Hey, Marcus, when it's over, I'm gonna
Love you, Marcus.
When it's over, Marcus, I'm gonna hit you up, man, and we'll talk about moderatorship. So I appreciate you looking out for me. He saw something I didn't catch. Marcus says, "Wait a minute. So either the guy is quick pump chump, or he takes too damn long. So which is it, ladies? Or I guess that was to Poppy's thing, what Poppy said earlier. So
depends how many beverages you had that night.
Yeah, that's true too.
Or if you went out with a loaded gun, as somebody was trying to say, don't go out with a loaded gun.
You up that heavy, man. You go for a quick 30, 40 minutes flat.
Oh, Lord. And
that's decent.
Shout out to Soldier. He says, please don't say women need to do more. Please themselves, bro.
Thanks. I really appreciate that.
And I'm here. I'm just grabbing a drink. I didn't leave.
All right. And then shout out to Stefan. I hope I didn't mess up your name. Tyrone says medium size or slightly above medium size is fine for most women. Just eat it right until she sleep at night. Okay.
That's a poem.
Hey, but I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, what I explained to Robin Kate earlier, somebody that I dated, they didn't even want that. So that's like, I'm not saying it's an overall 100% factor, but you may have those bumps in the roads with somebody you're dating. Because, like, you know, me, hey,
Can I tell you why?
Why?
Why she was like that? Because she didn't know her body. I'm telling you, like, I even went through that in my mid-20s where I'd be like, no, I just like penetration, until I got more experience of like other things. I was like, and then I found people that knew how to actually do the other things that I was like, oh, that's what it feels like. Like,
yeah.
Because grown folks, I'm telling you, I eat a peach for days. Take it how you want to take it.
Poppy, you don't eat peach?
Skills.
Poppy, do you eat the peach?
No, he said that before. Y'all had a whole debate about that.
I'm a dead slinger, baby.
You're what?
I'm a dead slinger. That's all you gonna do over here. I slam you all day, baby.
Yeah, he said he Paul Bunyan.
Push you to sleep.
There's a lot of, but Minka,
I remember that now.
Yeah, but to your point, there's a lot of ladies that I've known that were very reserved and didn't really know much about themselves, and they were kind of like just repressed. And I hopefully I fixed a little bit of that in some of them. But you know, there's a lot out there that, yeah.
Look at me. I'm interrupting you, right? We know I've been accidentally celibate for 6 months. I guarantee you, if it wasn't like that, I would probably be like, yeah.
Hey, look, something on, man. If whoever Minka date tonight, man, if you get to see this, man, blow her back out, please. I'm getting tired of listening to her.
Just do it right, all right? My man out there, just do it right, okay?
I'm getting tired of listening to her 6-month hiatus. You know what I mean? Please put her on the wheelchair for 2 hours or something, man. Drill her to the cross, yo.
Like, she shouldn't be able to walk tomorrow, right? All right, that's what we're talking about.
She don't work tomorrow, so she'll be out.
Yeah.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
But hey, but on a serious note, you know what we don't talk about much, and I remember reading about this, was we talk about a lot the size of the man, but we actually don't spend a lot of time talking about the size of the woman's vagina, because there are distinct there are distinct differences. So if you like go and read some of the old Karma Sutra books and some of that, they'll talk about like kind of 3 categories of the size of a woman's vagina. There's like the small, the medium, and the large. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like a large woman to have a quote unquote large vagina. You could have a small woman with a large vagina. And if you're going to match up you kind of have to match up the penis size to the vagina size. So if a woman has, a large vagina, she's really not going to feel good unless it's a large penis. But if it's a woman with what's up?
But now I gotta be like, who got time to be like, excuse me, to the vagina searching? I'm not saying.
No, but we should talk about it.
I know. I'm just saying. Who got
Has anybody experienced it? That's what I want to know. Like the guys.
Yeah.
Do you experience like the difference in?
They do. They do.
Speak for ourselves, that means you don't got no wee. Let us speak for ourselves. Thank you.
They do. They know. They feel the difference.
She must have no walls, bro. That's when that happened, when she don't got no walls. Like that. The whole town went through that thing. But look, it's like this, man. It don't matter what size the man is, because y'all females, y'all have babies, man. Like you be having 8-pound babies coming out of that thing. So I don't think you can figure a 12-inch dick if you really want to.
I've seen shows about that.
Yeah,
I have to agree with that, because but there is also something to be said. I know a woman that gave me this advice, and this is maybe where some of my mentality comes from. She said that after you have children, there's nothing better than having a big penis, because your walls are not as strong.
Yeah,
but that's also
anymore.
But that's where Robin said like Kegels are important. Like they came out with different like exercise tools for Kegels now. Like it's like a little ball that like literally hangs off.
Yeah, but this is not new though. But that's not new though. That been out for a while.
But not a lot. It doesn't mean that all women know about it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Another fun fact: there's actually male Kegel exercises too. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard about that or known that, but there actually are. Yeah. You act like you're like trying to pee. But don't pee, obviously.
Oh,
and you do that for
strain your muscle, right?
Yeah. Those are male Kegel exercises. So supposedly, if you're a man that suffers from crossing the finish line early, doing those could help not cross the finish line so fast.
Yeah. Really? Well, ladies, y'all can do me, baby. I'm always
come on, man. You're talking to the healthcare guy. I know all about this stuff.
Okay, I know that. I mean, hey, probably real talk though. When ever since you mentioned that snip, I've been with you ever since. So let's go.
Yeah. Man, I keep it 100 with you.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. I still got the question though, but I'm with you. I am with you. But shout out to Kay. I don't know what can you rephrase it? She said, I disagree with
There's Poppy. So many points. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
Yeah, because Poppy's all over the place.
Yeah, Poppy's a wealth of information.
He's a wild card within a wild card within a wild card. He's his own Joker. But if you could be a little bit,
what's real, man.
If you could be a little bit more accurate to what you disagree with, because we're going all over the place. Not really all over the place, but shout out to Princess K. Hey, Princess K.
Okay, let me ask this question to the two ladies. Let me ask a question.
Sure.
Have you ever been with somebody that was too big, where it was like, this is uncomfortable, this is not fun, I don't want to sleep with you because you're actually too big, and it just hurts or it's not fun? Have you experienced?
Apparently, Mika had, because she's blushing.
Yeah.
I'm blushing because I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it work.
She looked like Rocky coming out of that, just like took it a left and a right, and she was. I
was gonna say Apollo Creed. Hey, I was gonna say Apollo Creed 1 and 2.
He's like, I won. Bloody as shit. That was her when it was all over. I think I broke Minka.
Hey, Prima, I thought you were gonna
like
say
having flashbacks.
I thought it was gonna be Creed 1 and 2, because you know how Creed got messed up.
Yeah, boom. Oh man.
But
so Minka, when you go to the corner for a minute and ice your face for a second and get back in the fight, what's your answer? Or to both of you ladies, like, the question was, have you ever been with a man that was too big and you were like, actually, this isn't fun. I don't want to do this anymore.
I'll let Robin answer first.
Right.
She's just so you guys know, this is my very best friend, and she's the best way I can describe what I see us as is I'm more like masculine and like, ha, and she's more very feminine. So we balance each other out.
We was your best friends, Mika.
You guys are, but like, I actually get to see her and hang out with her and like hug her.
You know, Pocket Pop or Angela
I
can
don't know
fly you out. It's okay. Yeah.
But it's so I'm just saying, like, be nice to my friend because she's a lot more feminine and like kind
nice.
than I am. Nice. I know you guys are being nice. I'm just saying.
This is called a conversation. Well, let me ask you this, Robin. How old are you? Robin K?
I'm 32.
All right, so you can handle dope conversations?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am kind of putting you on the spot. So if you don't want to answer, don't answer.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, we're I would say okay. So
I'll let her answer.
I would say yes. If you're not seeing, like, Poppy had a comment about, we have babies. We and it's I think it stretches, right? So if you're doing it constantly with somebody, if you're seeing them enough, I think you can get used to it. But I have had it where it's like, I wasn't able to see them as much as I wanted to. And like the day after, it was like, just every time the day after is painful. And then you really are like, I think there can be too big.
Okay.
Yeah. No, and I've gotten that feedback. I've heard that before from people, not firsthand, but I've heard that before.
Yeah, I would say, I think in my experience, just like, it's usually not even that night. It's the next day. It's like you're in pain. So if you're not seeing the person regularly, like enough times, then yeah, I would say yes, there can be.
I've heard talk of like like a woman would tell me that she was like still bleeding the next day afterward, and that sort of thing.
That's a lot. That's
a murder session right there.
I have not experienced that. So
I in my experience, one, she was in pain, but she actually liked the extra penetration, but none of that bleeding crap. That's too much. But
yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that means her period's about to be on. That's what that means.
Really?
Agreed. No, but I'm just saying, like, those are the kind of stories I've heard and been told and been a part of, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, okay. It all depends though. It all depends because if the female is into you, she's gonna get extra wet already right off the bat before you even.
Well, yeah.
Before you even start like drilling her and stuff like that. No matter how big you are, she will adjust. That's my experience. What
their bodies are made to accommodate, right? They're made to adjust to the size. Now, there's obviously going to be times when it's maybe not as fun though, because you go stretch your legs. Does that hurt a little sometimes? Yeah, that can hurt a little sometimes. Yeah. So,
and one thing I noticed is the smaller girl can take more dick than the thicker girl.
What?
No, I noticed that. That's a fact.
Wait, what was it?
Poppy, come on,
smaller girl, like a girl, she's like 5'3", 5'4". No matter how tall she is, but she's like a 120, between 135, little fun size.
Mm-hmm.
Those girls can take more dick than anybody else.
So the big girls losing?
Did Poppy just say a little girl was 135 was fun size?
No, it's small girl.
Where are you?
I'm
at,
5'1". I'm 5. Hi. I'm 5'1". I'm 115.
Y'all going down to the bottom.
120 to
me
130.
and Poppy got talk. But hold on, let me read this real quick. Winning life. I appreciate you, man. Again, any comments, questions, concerns, bring it up, and I'll load it up, and we can have a discussion about it. So we keep this train going. Winning says size doesn't matter, but I feel bad for the guys not well endowed. True. You're laying there thinking this dude chased me so hard, talk all the crap, and then this isn't working with. This is what he's working with.
But I think that goes back to what Minka said, where it's some guys will talk a lot, and that's what they choose to talk about too. Like, it's kind of if you're talking about that already, and it's like that's what matters, it's kind of like weird. Anyways, I would expect what they would say, talking all that crap, and then this is what you're working with, but that's what you're focused on, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like a guy's not going to be like talking that.
All right, well, I got to clap back at Poppy because my man said something he said something like the polar opposite of what I was assuming, because in my experience, big girls be winning, man. They'll take it all and keep it pushing.
No. You cannot.
Well,
listen,
I heard
with a smaller
it's different. There's more cushion with the big girl. That's the reason.
More cushion with the pushing. Is that what Mika just said?
I want to quote Myron so bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So Mika, are you living your life as a 300-pound chick?
No.
Okay. Like so a third of it. Yeah.
You can't speak for a 300-pound chick. You can't speak for big girls.
She's a big girl at heart.
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's just logically speaking, especially from the guy. I have a lot of guy friends. They've all said the same thing. It's like there's that extra cushion from like between the end of the butt where the penis goes into the butt or into the vagina. Yeah, you got like an inch or two more.
We're gonna get a whiteboard out here pretty soon and start drawing diagrams.
Yeah, I got a whiteboard in the dining room. I could draw it out.
I got a nice whiteboard. You want me to draw a little, flow chart?
So like versus like a smaller butt, you just get right to it. Whereas like the bigger girls, you have more cushion, so it's snuggly.
It's not even that. It's just like a smaller girl, you can do a whole lot of tricks.
But that's tricks because of the weight class. But as a big girl, I'm just telling you from my experience, and this is me, and I have friends. Like I said, it seems like it's a different class because Mika's going by her class of people, her group. Poppy going by his experience in his class, and I'm going by my class. So in my experience, it's like I'm saying, it's like a little.
Most of the girls, I'm gonna say this: bigger girls, from what I've heard and understood, are better at sex than thinner girls. That's number one. Number two, I've also heard that the cushion pushing thing. But when I speak for myself, I'm speaking for myself. Most of the girls that are 5'1" are like, they say like, oh, there is such a thing as too big, and it's like regular or something.
5'1", 5'3", they winning, boy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. I'm on the fence with Poppy what he's saying, but I'm not gonna be one sided like, oh, it's like always the small girls. It's fun size, smaller, lighter, flip them over.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
But big girls,
I'm just going with it because I want to win.
Exactly, but big girls, for again, on my side, in defense, my experience, and the guys that I know, a good bulk of them prefer some big girls because they feel they personally. I ain't look at their pants again. Keep me out of it, but they feel like they have that what the women are packing or asking for. They feel like they have that package. And they're giving it to those big girls because they feel big girls can take it, versus the smaller girls.
That's wrong. I'm telling you.
I'm just telling you that's what's brought up on my end.
I don't smash like big girls like that. Like once you like 160, 170, that's the cutoff time right there. That's my cutoff line.
You going in like a boxer, Poppy?
I like my girls to be.
He's like, all right, now, baby, I really had a good time.
Okay, so you're biased. So you're biased.
Step on this scale right here. Oh, you gotta go. Sorry. You know what? Can you go run a lap or two? You're only like 1 pound over. We can cut this off. Let's go.
But you can tell.
Puppy, you're biased. You're saying like you're doing it once in a while, then you can't speak for big girls, period. Because I've heard the opposite of what you're saying.
Exactly. I'm not biased. I'm an equal opportunity employer.
I would wonder if it's just different for different women. Like, I mean, what if you have two big girls and one has a smaller vagina and then one has a bigger one? Like, and vice versa. You have two small girls and one can take more and one can't. Like, I didn't know that it was.
Actually, the slim, thick girls
big girl, small girl only.
The big girls go.
I wanted to answer. I never got to answer Primal's question.
Yeah, I was gonna circle back to it, but I didn't know if you were trying. I was gonna say, hey, did you duck out on that question or?
No. I have. Yeah, no. I.
Wait for the answer.
You had to mentally prepare for the answer, or?
No, I had to go do something. I have a dog walker coming. So I have had that experience. And I did not quit. And it's kind of like what Poppy said. Like if you just kind of go through it, you will you're my vagina was able to like expand, but at the same time, what Robin said was, I remember like one of the biggest ones. What?
What are you, a
Puppy's
cobra?
dying.
Kind of sound all educating stuff.
I don't know how to say it. I don't
First
know.
of all, you don't have a
My
vagina
vagina expanded.
You don't have a
Yeah.
vagina no more. You have a pussy. Okay?
What is this?
The same
What is it? The
vagina.
Red Sea parting? Jesus, yeah. Moses
Wait,
came down with
it's
the
like
staff
Gandalf.
and leads the people
It's
through.
like
Egypt.
Gandalf. You
What is
shall
it?
not
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever, it stretched. But the problem is, and this is where it's like, guys, I feel like should have more thoughtfulness towards women. What?
I'm getting tired of y'all females saying my vagina. You know, but y'all don't have a vagina no more. Dick beating through there already.
YouTube friendly, Poppy. YouTube friendly, Poppy.
YouTube friendly.
YouTube friendly.
That's the proper word.
Yes.
That's the proper word we need to use. Look at him. He's like, I hate this bullshit.
Yes.
But here's the deal. So it's stretched, right? The problem was that he was really work focused and like
the comments.
I'm done.
Okay, Cole.
So, the problem was that he was really focused on work, and so it was only like once a week. And every week, I told him, I'm like, either we're gonna keep seeing each other more often, or we're not gonna see each other at all. Because what was happening was I kept getting UTIs and yeast infections. Because every time a woman's vagina stretches like that, we have repercussions that we have to deal with.
That's because of the cream pies that man was giving you. That's what it is. It wasn't with vagina. It was the cream pies, baby.
We were still.
Man, I thought
so
I broke Minka, but that guy, he
pies.
broke Minka. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like,
she's getting hot just thinking about it. Look at her.
I'm just trying to say there are repercussions for women, and it's not from cream pie because we're using condoms. It's not. Guys think, oh, if I came in her, that's what the problem to everything is, and it's like, no. Just the fact that, like, let's say I haven't had anything in me for a long time. Mm-hmm. I know going into it, the first time I have sex, I'm gonna have to like go to the doctor and get everything that I need because it hasn't been. There's no object's been going in there, so it's not used to the activity.
The I'm gonna get
down for a while. I heard something different actually. I heard when it comes to that stuff, it's like body chemistry is like. And I think I've
pH balance, right?
Like, and it's the pH balance. Actually, if you want to talk about it scientifically, like our chemistry might be perfect with me and this person over here, and this person, like I might get infections all day. Our chemistry, just our pH balances are not in line, so it's like never gonna, and it will always be that way, right?
Let me backtrack because I should say one thing. I have an IUD, which is something that is in me at all times.
I love
it. For the past 5 years. Before that, I had another one. So the issue is actually the intercourse itself. So women, and this is something I found out during the second year of having it. Yes, the pH balance gets messed up, but it can be with anything going in there because anything has a different pH balance, including condoms and penises. For me particularly, because I have the IUD, I either have to have regular sex or I can't at all because that will throw off my pH balance, and it's really sensitive because of the birth control that I have in me at all times.
Okay, now
I should have mentioned that part.
Since you brought that up, because from Robin to you, that had me think of somebody else because their pH balance was off to the point where when they did have intercourse, they would get a UTI like 5 minutes flat. And
you gotta figure out what the culprit is. Sorry.
We knew it came down to I understood the culprit because she don't drink water, period.
Your diet. Oh my God. Alkaline.
Exactly.
More alkaline your diet is, the less chance.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this for the viewers out there. If you have that type of problem, drink
get some water really quick.
If you have that, because I came across 2 people in my life. It's crazy. There's like I refuse to drink water. I don't like water. They just one of those people. Okay. And I get it, but at the end of the day, find some way to get your balance all balanced the right way. So H2O, there's ways around it. Yeah, there's ways around that, but it's crazy. So everybody's getting H2O.
Like we're both drinking wine.
Where's Marcus at with the promos at? God, Lee. But Prince,
does whiskey count as water? There's water in whiskey.
No, but I have noticed that you're right, because I have noticed that I am better with water, but if I eat a lot of sugar, that messes me up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's pretty much anything that, like Robin said, if it's not healthy, it's technically breaking down your body. I mean, just let's keep it 100. Greasy foods. I say all the no-nos, salty, greasy, fatty foods. That's pretty much going to break you down. Now, I'm not going to say that you can't eat it. You can, but if you have more consumption of that versus the water, your leafy green vegetables, then you're not going to have that right balance that you need for your body. And that's pretty much what the issue that this particular person in the past had with them. It was like instantly. And I was like, Jesus. And that time, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just finishing off what I'm saying, but go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I wonder if it matters what if my diet's good, but the guy, his diet's like, like how you're saying, like fatty food, stuff like that.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Off. Like, what if it, like, you know what I mean? Because guys have pH too. So I'm wondering, is it always the girl? Is it
okay, well, since we have a medical guy here, that I guess he may answer that a little bit. But let me add this real quick.
Yeah, go.
I'll say yes because this is my theory, but since everybody was jumping around with little theories about the pushing the cushion, I was told, since you asked that question, I think you would be able to tell that most because there'd be kind of some oral play with the guy. So if anything tastes a little bit off, that might be one of them. So go ahead, Prime. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I was gonna say, like when you're with somebody like that, their pH is your pH and your pH is their pH. Like you're gonna mix, right? Especially the woman, she's gonna be on the receiving end of a lot of pH there, if you will. So if you have stuff sitting in, if your pH is all good, but that other guy's is all jacked up, and then your pH is sitting in there for a while afterward, then your pH isn't so good anymore because you got this jacked up pH in you. So
okay.
you just had a bad diet up for your pH, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So would it be fair to say that so if hers is regulated and the guy's isn't, and she could tell by him whether he's penetrating her or she's tasting him orally, wouldn't it be best to say like hey baby, drink some more pineapple juice and here's some more water?
Well, yeah, you can, but like
garlic and kale are the worst.
But then there's also just like
foods,
people's flora and their pH is there's a huge element of it's like it just is what it is too. So when they talk about like when they talk about like having chemistry with people, a lot of that actually comes from not just like the mental chemistry, but actual like physical chemistry of your bodies being a good match. Like there's certain people in your life, you'll go up to them and they'll just smell good to you, right? Yeah. Have you ever noticed that? Or there's people that you walk up to and they're like, I don't like their smell. Like something smells off about them to you. Yeah. So it's a lot of pheromones, and a lot of that actually comes from your pH, and even deeper, it comes from a lot of your like genetic makeup. And what that is doing is if somebody smells attractive to you, there's a strong link with them having a very diverse genetic background compared to yours. So what it's trying to do is trying to bring two diverse genetic people together, as opposed to if your genetics are very similar, then there's a likelihood that they'll smell bad to you. So not to get like super deep talk, but that's kind of, go from genetics, and the pH is kind of just like an offshoot of that. So science.
I'm just trying to prepare.
Yeah.
Okay,
for your night, because she's gonna have a night.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, sir.
Robin,
yes, we do.
Robin, did she tell you about her failed attempt from last time?
Can I say it?
Whoa, yeah. What's going on here? We got super trolls. We got super trolls.
Hold on, thank you.
Yeah. Wait, what failed? What failed? Hold up, back up. What failed attempt?
Oh no, I was gonna say
your date last time, and then it didn't work out. Is only I don't know. You had more than one date last time me and Poppy was talking to you.
Oh God, yeah. I forgot.
Which one?
I forgot about that. But that just never. Remember a tall guy that was it was like really well, and then it just ended. It like disappeared, and I was like, fuck that. And then he came back, and I was like, yo.
She messed up.
Wait, I messed up?
She messed up, but we'll talk behind the scenes, Robin. We'll get you caught up.
We can talk now.
No, we
There's
can't.
no secret.
That's not the topic today, but we're behind the scenes.
No, she catches me up on this one. I'm all caught up. So I'm excited.
She's more caught up than you guys.
We'll give you the male. You know what? We'll give you the male perspective, Robin, after this, because she's giving you the Mika female perspective.
Yeah, I'll take you out in a little bit.
Listen.
Yeah, I'll take you out in a little bit. Okay. A little bit.
Listen. She knows the more details than you guys do.
Yeah,
Okay,
but that's nice. But at the end of the day, you're still my wifey, and I'm not gonna put you out like that on blast, especially this the internet. So I'm not gonna do that. So
I don't care. I literally just want to know what it is. Hispanic panic. Let me know what's up.
We'll talk
what's good. Let's talk.
We'll talk behind the scenes. We'll get your friend up on the real deal.
Hey, give me like 5 minutes. My dogs are circling me. I gotta take them out. They're being super. Yeah, I'll be back.
All right.
Where's Poppy when I need him, man? He would back me up. He's like, let's talk about it. Why not right now?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm just charging my phone.
Hey.
I'm here.
Sorry.
Yeah. So go ahead.
It was a really good point that was brought up of like we should talk. There is an actual thing of like. There's certain vaginas that like are longer than others that are made for those 8-inch bigas, and like there's other ones that are like have less wall structure that are made for more girth. It's like a real thing.
That's fair, but now I feel like it's like every time we have, and this Robin K, because every time we have these real good conversations, I feel like it always come back to the man and woman got to have these conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is a big girl, little girl, wide vagina, small vagina, whatever.
What if we don't match?
Exactly. Even this the little scenario that the story that Mika did, like, hey, I was a trooper, so I went back in there. No, if you're in some kind of pain that's uncomfortable, but you want to be a trooper, but you're not enjoying yourself, like me personally, that's a turn off for me. Let me So if you're not enjoying yourself, then I'm not enjoying myself. That's just how I'm built. But I'm not gonna be like the regular guys, like, yeah, bro, I just pounded all day and she's making noise. No, she's making noise because she's in pain, bro.
There's a difference, though.
A lot of guys don't understand that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Poppy's that guy, but let's just, for example, because Poppy said himself, he said, hey, they're small, they're fun to flip around this that third. So other guys might take that as to say, hey, well, it's fun to flip around, but as they're continually going, and then you're going to have the other women like you, like, hey, I'm the trooper, and then them guys like, well, she's okay with it, so I'm okay with it. Bro, that doesn't add up.
You know what I think? I think it, like, later on, as I've progressed and gotten older, it's like learning how to say what you do and don't like. Because I think in the very beginning, you're like, oh, I want to make this person like happy and do whatever they want, right? Especially when you're younger, you're like, when you don't know your body, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you like. It's sometimes hard to speak up. You just know you like this person and you want to please them, right? Mm-hmm. But as you go, I think as with age, to me, maybe it's not age, maybe it's just how well you know yourself, how well you're able to speak up. Once you start being able to say what you do and don't like, and be really honest about it, like, hey, let me slow that down. Like, let's try something different. I mean, how are you going to get what you want if you don't speak up, right? If you don't communicate. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of room for like change, growth, and finding what works with people. And I like that you said that you don't just like it's a turn off, because that kind of, it's not fun.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't make any sense. Like how, especially like in behind the scenes, like Poppy said, like you go talk to your girls and you might, like say, y'all close friends. So in my mind, because she's a trooper and she does that, and then on the other end, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the man. But then she goes behind my back, talk to you, and confide that conversation. She confided you. She could have just told me.
Mm-hmm. Right, but that's the difference. When I say I'm a trooper, I don't mean like it's a jackhammer going and it's killing me. Like, no, that's what Robin said.
I know, but I'm giving an example I'm giving an example if another female take it further.
I heard you.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm trying to say, like, as a female that's been the like I'm a trooper, it's not like I'm sitting there like I'm just taking it like a bad porno. Like it's.
I ain't gonna lie, nigga. That's how you kind of described it. Like, look, I went in.
So let me. That's why I'm saying let me redescribe it. So when I was with that partner, like especially when it first started out, to get me used to it, he wasn't going like a jackhammer. He was really like slow and like Stop me! He was stop. He goes. He was really slow and like always asked me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes." And then once I started like, especially if it was like closer to climaxing, I would climax, and then he would stop and be like, "Do you want me to stop? We can stop." And I'm like, "No, let's keep going." But like it was also,
I'm calling cat.
it was
now.
also, yeah, it was
now.
also what you had to. It's also what you just talked about of like you are very conscientious of your partner. I think that's what a lot of sexual like things that we do as human being, like it's more prominent that people will like not think of each other during sex, having sex with each other. And I think that's the biggest problem, where it's like I think that women should be conscious of men of like, okay, am I being like, because there's other women that'll say weird shit that'll make a guy uncomfortable, you know what I mean? And then there's also men that like don't think about like, oh, is she okay? Let me check in with her. Let me like be vocal. And I think that's like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Of like what works.
For being really real, like in the beginning when you meet somebody, you guys only know what you like, right? Like I know what I like, I know what I'm gonna do, you know what you're gonna do, and you're excited about each other, right? So it's kind of like it's that excitement frenzy. It doesn't really matter what people are doing. Like it's just, I mean, if you really like them, right? And then as time goes on, if you're in a relationship with somebody, let's just be real, it can get boring if you're doing the same thing. That's why I think communication you have to talk like, hey, I actually really like this. I like it a little bit slower, or I like, different things. You have to, or I want to try this. Like, it's like you're probably not going to say that in the beginning, right? Because you're just going off what you know. What?
You gotta make
I was reading his comment. Smelly Pum Pum traumatized me.
There's a chat.
Yeah,
and that's the thing too. Women, we have to take care of it because like I check mine regularly. I have the IUD, so I have to check mine regularly, and I have like probiotics. I have cranberry pills. Like I drink a lot of water if I feel like my pH balance is not right, and I don't know that like there's not a lot of women that talk about that.
And yo, let's talk. I mean, I have a hard time just showing up sometimes. I mean, it's tough to get me out the door, let alone checking pHs. That's a lot of work.
I'll wear Primal, but let me read a few of these real quick. Shout out to you.
I've been drinking water all week.
Hey, she's Princess Case.
ready
to pee in a diaper.
Hey, Mink about to be pushing pee tonight.
Yeah. But Princess K says I have a pheromone perfume. It smells amazing with my body chemistry. Oh crap! You know what, Princess K? I'm gonna throw some. I know, but I'm gonna throw some hate on you because I had an ex. I swear to God, she smelled so good. So when the relationship ended, I was still thinking about her because of the smell.
Yes,
bro,
yes.
That made me so mad.
There's
mad.
Certain smells from certain perfumes girls would wear that, and I've never had a bad breakup. I'll just disclaimer: I've never had a bad breakup, right? But every
you better
time,
knock on wood, sir.
Yeah,
you better knock on wood.
That was sarcasm, honey. That was sarcasm. Man, is Mika that gullible? Is she really that gullible?
Emotional damage.
I am 100%.
That's that Kelly life, man.
But there were certain smells where you just like, shit, that reminds you of somebody, and you're like, isn't there a song about that? That smell reminds you of something.
Exactly. Also, Princess K again brought up something that was pretty interesting. Where is it? She said that's why I instinctively hold my breath anytime someone walks by me. Some women have a stink poom poom and you smell it from afar. Jesus Christ, Princess K.
It's true. It's
true.
I
was
at the gym yesterday. I smelled that at the gym yesterday. It was nasty.
Do you think
you can tell her pH balance was fucked up. You smell
what you got, Robin?
Okay, so I smelled a friend like that. I'm like trying to say this in the nicest way possible.
Okay.
I smelled a friend like that.
Was it me?
No. I was like in high school. No, I was in high school, and
Did I have the smelly poom poom? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I can smell it from here.
As I know.
Yeah.
I guess I always wondered, like, because it was strong too. Like, so I wondered, I'm like, maybe does she smell herself? Because if it was me and I smelled something wrong, I'm going to the doctors immediately. I'm gonna take care of it. So I guess I just wonder, I'm like, does that girl know that something's wrong, or maybe she just doesn't, or does she just not care?
I'm gonna say she.
So like, have you
I'm
ever?
gonna say she won't because, and I'm gonna throw myself on the bus because when I was a kid.
Super trolls again. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's the damn topic.
They're getting Minka's photos out there, so don't let them get Minka's photos out there on blast.
On the fake accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, because I'm gonna say yeah.
So famous.
I'm gonna say yeah to a degree, Robin, because I know when I was a kid, you're learning your body and even the right deodorants to put on and what not to put on. So I'm gonna say yes to a degree.
Princess K, that last comment, it just has me dying.
What she got going on? She said, "I just wonder why they can't smell the fish market between their legs."
Why isn't Princess K on here?
No mercy.
Princess K, you've been around us too long. You got. I love you coming on.
She should be on here.
I think we kind of took her to the dark side just a little bit because she was so sweet.
We started off with how big is your D, and now you got a smelly poo poo. Like, yeah.
Princess K is just opening. She's coming out of her shell because she's really proper. She's like Robin. She's like a lady.
No, but damn that. I think we corrupted Princess K. We corrupted her. Don't be like us, Robin. Don't come in next week and then next week.
Don't come to the dark side. Don't do it.
Hey, we
need some light.
She's already been in the dark side.
Hey, everybody.
Princess K!
It's a brother from down under.
What's going on to Nixon for the brother from down under?
Kangaroo Jack and man just kicking back the kangaroos.
All right.
No, I'm joking. No kangaroos here, man.
How's the yacht party, Nixon? How's the yacht party?
I didn't go. It rained out, so I'm like, I don't want to go out to the city on the Sydney Harbour when it's raining. So it's been, I don't know if you guys know, it's been hammering down rain here for the last couple of weeks. Parts of New South Wales are under flood. Hammering rain, not as in hammering. You would know that. Minka would know about that. Minka would know about that. Okay.
After she went Nixon, after she went out Nixon, she's lacking that department, so no, she would not know about that.
Oh,
hey, fella, what is his name?
Accidentally celibate for 6 months.
Damn, that's a long time. You might as well go
I
move to a convent.
know.
So
You're ready for a nun.
I'm gonna choose the message right now. I'm gonna prep him for you, baby.
All right, so Nixon,
he's ready.
All right, fellas. So Nixon, what's your thoughts on the the size matter? Does size matter? What's your thoughts on the whole conversation?
Look, you know what? At first, you're probably thinking to yourself, it's something that guys have probably made more true than what it is to make themselves feel better. Like, what's about cope and all that sort of shit. Doesn't matter how big your D is. I think it matters to a point, and then after a certain section after that, like Minka with her, I was a champ and I took it and all that sort of stuff. Like, if you're not feeling it, then why the hell are you going ahead with it, man? Just like what's the worst? Like, hey man, your D is too big. Sorry, it ain't gonna go in there. Like, either the guy takes it as a compliment, or he takes it that you're not accommodating to his size. You know what I mean? So any which way will probably work out better for the dude. But I think more so it depends on width and the girth, or whatever we want to call it. I think that's where ladies get more of the satisfaction, because you can have a 12-inch schlonger, but it can be like, I like that. So that's not going to do anything for you. But then again, they don't want to have like a fat, short chode. So you have to have something in between. It's got to be of a decent size.
Okay. I'm kind of leaning with Poppy on when he mentioned cat to Robin, because the 4 inches, 3 inches. So I honestly feel like women put more pressure on men about the size and the quote unquote the motion of the ocean, because if we didn't hear those terms and those conversations and those little sidebar conversations the women have about us, instead of generally whether it's heartfelt or just straightforward conversation to us, I think we'll be a little bit more better off with the situation.
Yeah, but women wouldn't have fake boobies and injecting shit into their butt if it wasn't the same thing on the other side.
I disagree.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Injections and shit. I hate that, man. I see it every week in nightclubs, and the ladies just overdo it. And they're at the point now where they're literally like ruining themselves to reach this ideal that is physically not possible. Like you've got ladies
Right.
that are walking around with Kranskis on their lips and
Yeah.
butt lifts.
I'm not
where...
saying that it's you guys. I'm not saying that it's you people on this platform. I'm saying generally speaking, it's the same thing. Just like you haven't heard neither Robin nor I
Now, who's
saying
you
those
people?
things.
Who's you people?
What do you mean, you people? Yeah, I get what you're saying, Minka. I get what you're saying. But like,
it's just the people that are on here are realistic of expectations and like what we personally like. We've had different variations of it. I'm just saying, generally speaking, in society standards, guys think they need to have a huge schlong and women think they need to have a tiny waist, big butt, and big boobs and like a perfect everything else. It's not realistic, and I don't think most of the world like actually lives to those standards. But I'm saying the mentality is there on both sides.
Yeah, I'm a Winnie. Shout out to you, Winnie. And I apologize because again, it's the internet. I don't know if it's guy, girl, whatever. Because in the beginning, we start out with more guys on the platform, and we're more focusing on having more female audience to come in, so we can get a better perspective. Because you have like 10 guys, 2 girls. It's like a party. You know what I'm saying? You go to a party, you have like 50 guys, 2 girls, 10 guys, 1 girl. Then you scare the girls off and they run.
Sausage party.
Exactly. So we try to have like more female. Yeah. So we're trying to work and focus on the audience to have more females perspective over here. So when guys do come in and guests like Nixon from the other week and now and Poppy and Primal, we can have these open, real conversations so people can flow back and forth and relate to. So shout out to you, Wendy, for coming in. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, go Primal.
And I also wanted to say,
I was going to say, I just pulled up an article real quick, and it was another urologist type guy, sexologist, whatever you want to call him. But he did this survey. 8 out of 10 women would prefer a man with a thicker penis over a longer penis. He says that, what is it? The vagina is merely 4 inches or lesser in girth, and hence a penis with thicker girth gives more sexual stimulation to the partner and therefore a good time. So women will instinctively seek out men with a girthier piece, if you will.
Stop outing yourself, Minka. Stop outing yourself.
I don't even care. I do not even care. I do not
last
even
week
care
you said you're a whore, and I'm a whore as well. It's okay.
I'm a pretend whore.
No.
And not only that, it was on the context that someone said that what was it? The week before, someone said the ideal woman is a virgin, and I'm like, I'm a whore. And then the following week, it was
that's the joke.
I know, I'm just explaining it for people that haven't heard it.
Let's be fair now. If that person magically pops up and call you out again, it's gonna be a whole other debate.
I feel like I missed something.
It was last stream last week. QB Willie said because she made a comment, but she didn't make it in like this is me realistically. So he said, but you said you're a whore though. So he's kind of like
I was like, it's called sarcasm.
Yeah, so he's trying to call her out, and then so now here.
Whoa!
That's what I'm playing.
You know sarcasm? I'm confused. I'm confused. Yeah.
I didn't know your sarcasm. I'm sorry. I'm getting to know it. I will say this: that it's like, obviously, I'm not a whore because I haven't had sex in 6 months. Like, it's kind of stupid.
Wow.
But the idea of like, and it's not because I don't want to. It's not like I don't want to. It's not like I'm a prude because when I'm with someone, I'm like, I'm a whore for you, right? But I haven't found a decent human being. That's all it is. On the top, you said something though, Nixon, of like, and it keeps being brought up. When I say I'm a trooper, that does not mean that I'm sitting there in pain.
I know that.
That's the difference. Where it's like, you do, but the way I get that you do, but the way that it keeps being brought up is that like, there are women for sure that it's like, oh, it's too much and it's painful and there's like bleeding and it's uncomfortable, all sorts of things. There are also women like me where it's like, it just feels like it's stretching and it's just got to be slow, but it's great. So I just want to say that for other people.
Attention, fellas in LA, man. She will be a whore for you.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
That long stroke.
You got a long stroke that. You got a quick long stroke it. Yeah.
We got
short long strokes. Deep breaths.
Minka's burning up. Minka.
That has never sounded
what about
so
this? We should make a commercial for her. We should make a commercial.
A commercial?
For Minka. Yeah. We got it. This your whore in your hand. She can be a whore for you. You just gotta play your cards right.
You know, but here's the thing. You know, it's funny you say that, but let's keep it 100%. Almost every guy I've ever talked to, that's exactly what they want. They want a girl that's not.
Yes.
They want a girl that's their whore.
Of course.
Yes.
They fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing more sexier than a girl that put on like a little uniform to go to work or something, to go to her little office job, and come and suck and swallow later on the night.
Yeah, but
That's sexy, baby.
let me add context to that one. It's pretty much like a lady in the streets, but a freak in the streets. That's what real men want. If you're outside,
Did you just say streets twice? I must have missed there. Yeah.
He meant what he meant was a lady in the streets with a freak in the bed.
I know what he meant, but I was just laughing because it
Lady
sounded
in the
like it
street.
was just for the streets.
Freak in the sheets.
It just sounded like she
Lady in
was
the
for the
streets.
streets. Yeah.
Freak in the sheets.
clearly, I got no friends here, but it's thank you, wifey. But yeah, that's what men are looking for.
Yep. That's exactly right, man.
I can't wait to find someone that I can.
I guess I hope.
Are you looking though?
Because you
can't wait to find, but are you looking?
This is like the thirstiest example I've seen in a long time.
For real, hunger. You touch your shit square right now.
All right, let me read some of these comments.
No, I got to get to know the person. They have to be a gentleman.
Fellas. Let me read some
Has
of
to be a
these.
nice guy.
Let me read some of these comments real quick. I gotta scroll up a little bit. Princess K. Okay, back to Winnie when he says people need to take more baths. That was an earlier comment about the
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like personal hygiene is such a big thing, man. How people cannot even master that basic necessity is beyond me.
Yep. And also, Prince Kids always been like this. I'm just relaxed and okay. Well, I appreciate you being relaxed over the great people. No, real. To be honest, like I think you. I'm glad that we brought that more comfortability out to you because I seen her in the YouTube stream. She's more conservative, so I appreciate that, Princess K. I really appreciate that.
Which field?
She's just getting more comfortable.
That's cool. I like that. I appreciate that. And definitely shout out again to Winnie because don't forget to hit that subscribe button, Winnie. That helps out the algorithm and everything else in sub count. So I appreciate you. And Winnie says, I've noticed some men know their size, what they would like, but their tongue game on point. And that brings us back to Poppy because
I was just about to say
Poppy don't believe in the cunnilingus
tongue game,
and I do. And when it comes
I
to
do too.
Yeah, good job, sir. When it comes to stuff like that, that's also added. What you laughing at, brother? So when it comes to certain situations like that, it's like you have to find them other outlets to engage and to stimulate your woman. Because if you don't have the ruler size that Mika was demonstrating earlier, if it's 4 inches and shorter, and that woman might have an issue, then it comes back to what Robin K was saying. Hey, let's have this conversation. That
thing is little. No women want that shit. I can promise you that. I know that women, but I know no women want no 4 inches. I can promise you that.
Okay, so Poppy, just hypothetical accent, bro. So if your Oscar Mayer wiener is a Vienna sausage, and your girlfriend tells you that, hey, Robin tells you that, hey, Poppy, it ain't big enough for me, man. So you're gonna have to go ahead and do some congolinas. You down for that?
No, because I tell them what to do. They don't tell me what to do. That's how I run my program. Hey, selfish.
Dude, you're in control, man. You're in control of her at that point.
Woof, woof, alpha dog, woof.
Yeah, I'm selfish. There is no change in my game. I'm bitter. Before somebody posts me, I am.
Bro, I cannot wait for the day that Poppy finds a little 5 foot, like 2 little thing that's just like, do this, do that, eat my ass, eat my this.
I doubt it.
Like,
my way.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say this. I'll say much. That's an important piece of your tool bag. That's like a carpenter going to work and all he has is a hammer. Like there's gonna be times where you need a saw. Like you can't just hammer everything.
You hammer your way through everything, Brian.
What's your thoughts, Robin? Because you got to say What's your thoughts, Robin?
Okay, so I have a question. I think it's kind of on topic, but
Sure.
if somebody doesn't do cunnilingus, like, but why though? Like, why wouldn't you want to? Like, it's hard for me to understand because, like, this is kind of how I see it. When I'm into somebody, like really into them, that's where it's like you really just want to make sure they're happy, they're pleased. I mean, right, Anna?
Robin's dog in
Preach,
the
girl.
background is
Keep
just,
going.
its tongue is I
So
don't know.
I guess
maybe
that
heard the
question. I guess that question's for you, Poppy.
The question is like, do you not feel that? Like, I want to do whatever, like, because whatever it takes, whatever you want. Like, I like you that much, I want to do whatever you want. Like, where's that? You don't get that?
I have been lucky in my life that I please most of them. Like I got a good percentage rate that I please every woman that I've been with. And
yeah, but what if they want that? What if they're like, I want
like
that?
I said, I've been lucky and they don't be asking for that. So,
but what if the tables are turned on you, Poppy?
beta.
What if
That's
it's a
beta.
hypothetical?
Well, they're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to call the crackhead around the corner to sign so he can go do it for me.
No, not just somebody you're like hooking up with. Because if you're just hooking up with them, like, I get why you wouldn't want to, but
It's
like
not
somebody,
happening. Only my girlfriend will get it. My wife.
There you go. Your girlfriend, your wife.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Poppy's mind only operates in the casual hookup right now. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, so
talking about that.
The girl that's down with me. They're not just a one night stand. Hell no.
No, you shouldn't be doing that one night stand. I mean, no. But I mean, like, somebody you're really into. If that's what she's like, that's what I want. Like, I want this from you. Like, you don't want to give her that? That's what I mean. I can't
just said
I'm not wanting to do that for somebody if that's what they want.
I just want to clarify this because it's been like months of him saying no, I would never. So, Poppy, you are saying if it would be your wife or your girlfriend, you would eat it out.
That's different because me and we together. That's different.
That's all that matters.
Such a gentleman. Such a gentleman.
That's all that matters.
What if it's a long-term relationship? Is that yes or no?
That's a good question, Poppy.
That's a girlfriend.
Hold on, Poppy.
That's a girlfriend.
Poppy, he said, "What if it's a long-term girlfriend or relationship?"
Yeah.
What you mean?
If it's like your girlfriend of like a year or two, for example, you're not married, but you've been together for so long, would you then be inclined to?
Okay, let me rephrase this. I mean, you from Australia, and when we say wife, that means girlfriend. It doesn't have to be like the actual marriage.
Yeah, but he's putting time limit on it.
We're going in the city, man.
Yeah, but he's putting a time limit on it.
long term, yes.
So okay, so longer than a year.
Because when I was with my girlfriend, I was downtown, man. No lie.
Down under? Down under.
Oh yeah, down under. Oh yeah, all the way under.
I have something, Poppy. Poppy, I have something for you. Because Robin, you remember the one that I was hooking up with that was like that too, right? I would never.
I don't remember.
There's only one, girl. Your
plead the fifth.
friend.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yes,
Remember Ricky?
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that about him. Okay.
So he's
Look at Poppy.
always saying,
You just confirmed what Poppy said earlier. Women be going behind men's back and talk. But go ahead. Jesus.
You're gonna learn today.
No, everybody knows that conversation. Everybody knows that conversation. It wasn't between him and I. It was literally between everybody knows that he would not, unless he was with a girlfriend or a wife. That's what he said. So
That's fair.
Now you do. And I didn't name names. So, and it wasn't someone I was interested. He did not bring value to my life, and I was willing to lose him as a friend. So I did.
There it is. Yeah, love it.
So one thing that happened, Robin, you don't know this, but I'm about to tell you. He one night did try to eat me out. And it was the worst thing that I've ever had in my entire life. So, Poppy, does that mean that you don't know how?
Everything I do in the bed, I know, baby. Trust me.
That's the question I was waiting for. That's the question I was waiting for.
I had to ask. I had to ask because
listen,
Got him!
most of the time when guys say they don't do that, it's because they don't know how. It's like when girls say, I don't suck the D, it's because they're not good at it.
But it's more fun to like for a female to suck a dick than eat pussy.
Right, but there are Primal. He's like, I gotta
there's a lot of pleasure to be had in pleasing your partner. I'll put it that way.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. I
Oh,
agree.
yeah?
Seeing a lady having her legs kind of shake uncontrollably and having her just go crazy and grab her knees around your, I mean, there's something to be.
Wow!
But there's something to be said about that.
Choke
That's
me
a
with
good
your thighs,
feeling.
suffocate me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read some of these.
Careful
Hold
now.
on.
I need to like. I can't go out like
let
this.
me read some of these comments real quick. I guess Cade was agreeing with Poppy about the longevity thing. So as a female, which I kind of have to disagree with it. If you like them a lot, I think you should be inclined to do that, because if you hold that part of yourself from your mate, that's the issue for me. Because I'm down to do that for the rip. I'm trying to go every level to please a woman from head to toe.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just add something as well?
Sure.
I think it was Patrice O'Neill who said it. I can't remember exactly for sure, but he said something like ladies, like, you don't want a woman who's just, gonna go down on a guy. You want a woman who loves to go down on a guy because it's her guy, because she loves it.
Correct.
Same way for a man.
Robin said
You don't
it.
want to. Oh, I thought she said it too. So the same token should go in that case. Then guys should want to go down on a girl because they love to go down on a girl. Not a one night stand, not some random chick you meet.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
realistically, that's the deal. And that's how it was with me and my ex. And I wasn't into it, but I learned to love it, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. There you go.
That's my rule too. I think that because she said it, it's like no tongue, then he won't get no head. That's a deal breaker. I have the same rule of like, okay, if it's just ungentlemanly, like, to me.
I mean, just do it for each other at the same time. It's a simple answer.
Ooh.
Nah, one person is always out of focus. Not if one person can't do the job if there's two at the same time.
It's not gonna be 100% on both ends. It's not gonna be 100% on both ends.
Yeah, you said ungentlemanly, Minka, but I don't know if it's even that. It's just if I'm like that into you, that
disrespectful.
Sorry, but if I'm that into you that I want to, like, and I like you, and we've been together for a while. This is like everybody's saying, you're not just gonna do this for like one night stand. I'm sure some people will, but most people, it's like you're reserving that for that person that means something to you, right? But at that point, it's like if I'm giving you this energy of like, I want to do whatever it takes because I just like seeing you feel good, but I'm not getting that back, that's a problem. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do what it takes to make me feel good, then wait, why though?
See,
like, where's?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can go ahead. I was done.
Well, I was going to say, so why do people have this stance of like, well, I would do it for somebody I really care about or a partner? I mean, if you're going to sleep with them, like, you're already there. Like,
you're there.
Just do the whole thing. Just do it all. Like, I guess that's my question is, I guess I never understood that. Like, well, I would only do it with somebody if we were in a relationship or if it was something significant. It's like, you're already effing them. Like, you might as well just do it all.
Oh, hang on.
I get it.
You're worried about a disease or something like that.
A little caveat
some people
there.
see it as like a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you know the person a little bit at first, then it's probably more okay. But if you literally just met them on the night, I think just the vanilla is as basic. And unless you're a real freak and you don't really look at that sort of stuff and you don't care, by all means go for it, go hard out.
Yeah.
But but I think if you know someone a little bit at least, like you talk to them or whatever, you get to know them, and then you want to go ahead with it, I don't think that's a problem. I think that's pretty fair.
I'm gonna go ahead and be and play devil's advocate on this one, because let's keep it 100. 9 out of 10 times, not no woman, not no guy after the third whatever date, and they feel like doing that extra, like you said, if they know them, nobody's not gonna be handing out STD cards like, hey, are you going to the doctor tomorrow? Or are you going to the nobody's not doing that. I normally usually ask that, and I will have women get offended on like, yo, I'm using the condom, or hey, let's both go and get tested so we come back and do our thing.
Oh, it's so hot.
Always keep it wrapped, man.
Go
Always.
get tested. I'm like,
so
go get tested together.
I have to be 100 about it, because that's normally that's not the norm. Nobody really come out there. I was like, hey, well, third day, okay, let's get on. Okay, cool. Let's get the protection back.
I had one ask me. She was like, all right, before, like, we were kind of making out and it was heading that way. And she goes, okay, I'm a nurse. You're a nurse. I don't have anything. Do you have anything? And I was just like, yeah, way to kill the mood. Thanks a lot.
Exactly. And that's another
Oh,
factor.
really?
Yeah, that's another factor. Nobody's not going to say that.
I do that shit all the time.
I've actually done that before.
Yeah.
Well, y'all in California, y'all got 2 billion served and no cures going on over there. So y'all better be asking.
Say, like, what's the deal if you have to get tested, man? Like, damn, like, what's going on down there? I mean,
I feel like it's a good thing. Like, if somebody asks you to get
Yeah.
tested, like, isn't it kind of like, oh shit, you care about yourself? Yeah, like, I mean,
Exactly.
like,
I think it's that.
won't
Like,
do
as soon
that.
as someone is like,
you care about your health. That's, I don't know. I've never seen it as a bad thing. Like, and I've asked you before. Like, I just think it's like, oh, I care about my health. That's kind of like a good thing.
Oh no, they get offended.
Right?
The one I knew in my past, they got offended, and I was like, okay. Well, you think I got? I didn't say that. But since I didn't say that, yeah.
Poppy
Yeah,
saying
somebody
that
who can't admit they're grown. I feel like we're grown. Obviously,
I can't hear you, Poppy.
You're muted, sir. But let me read all these comments real quick. Shout out to you, Pink, and again, Pink, I appreciate you. Everybody else, please hit the like button, comment like everybody's doing. If you just come around, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna be clipping most of this for the next turn around, so I appreciate you. Thank you. Pink Camel says, if he ain't, and I agree with Pink. If he ain't eating, he's not grown enough for me. Point blank. Period. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like I said earlier, Pink. Like I said earlier, I eat a peach for days. I eat a peach for days. But what's the next one? They're going back and forth a little bit in the chat. Princess K said, "Few bad head is enough." Woo! Bad head is enough to have me losing my temper. Okay, that sounds like a conversation there to be had. So, and that kind of pinpoints to what Mika was saying earlier. So, we'll start with you, Robin. So, in your current or past relationship, because I don't know you that well, so we just say in general, in your experience, if you had somebody that did the deed and it wasn't to your liking, was you turned off instantly and just ran for the hills, or you just continued with it and just laid there?
No, I'm kind of like
starfish.
No. I've had to in the past, like even just with a kiss, like, whoa, hey, and teach. You have to teach people sometimes. I feel like
that's true,
especially if they've been with somebody else. I had a guy who was in a relationship for a while, and we went on a date. We kissed, and it was like, I was like, "What are you doing?"
I remember that.
But I gotta ask though.
I didn't say that.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Like, what are you doing? But I mean, that's just. I feel like you're grown. You can understand that about a person. They've experienced somebody else for a while. Let me teach you what I like, and if they're receptive to hearing that, then you can stick around. And if you're not receptive to hearing that, then that's the cutoff.
But some not receptive though. Like you really have to like actually tell them, because like this is me, and I'm gonna give an example. Let's just say, because like I had one, I remember like the anybody remember the bird pecking? Like you get like the okay. So I will like try to not say it, but kind of like
look. All of us are like, eh.
Yeah. Try to give the practice of it so they can kind of work with me a little bit. And if it doesn't work out, then I might go to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes some people
like licking a penis and be like,
I can't have
like
that
that.
conversation. I just can't. I can't, because I'm damn near 40. Like, if you don't have this figured out by now, like,
thank you.
I'm sorry. Like,
I have to clap back. I have to clap back from, because to be honest, like I haven't met, but I actually, a lot of I ain't gonna say a lot. I had one woman. She said, and it goes back to what Robin said. She only knew her mate for like 30 years. And then when their relationship was over, it could be 5. I'm just saying it could be 5, 10, but this was an accurate number. I was with him for so long, all my life. Relationship over, she says, I don't know how to please a man properly or how he like, because my mate only liked it one way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a factor.
Go ahead.
Again, reference Patrice O'Neill only because I spoke about this with Grover and Scott from the Tip Network a couple of weeks ago. Ladies, a question to you right there. Now, when a guy, or when you say I like doing this to a guy, is it because you yourself have said I want to try this, or they've asked you to try and then you've sort of taken that on board?
Oh, I think
that's a good question.
Mika suspect.
Go ahead, answer, Robin.
Bro,
no, I'm
she
giving
got no
Robin
mask.
the
She coming up with her lies, Nixon. Go ahead.
No, I
Robin.
Yeah.
you have to say.
You what?
I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. It's most of the time. It's honestly, for me personally, it's honestly been me asking or wanting to try things. Like I put
Poppy's back.
I've like shaved a guy's butthole before. I've like put a
Damn.
glass, like small little.
That's something
thing
you
butt
want to
before. I just want.
Yo, hold on. Time out. What?
Funny
Give her a minute.
because
You did what?
Did you say shaved his butthole?
Yeah, because he had never shaved it before, and I wasn't gonna try and lick it without it being like super clean.
I'm not sure you're the right type of freak for this conversation.
I have like an anecdote to that. That's why I ask.
What kind of man would let you do that, yo? There is absolutely
Well,
no
hang
way.
on.
That was the
I
guy I
would
was
let a
engaged
woman touch me in
to
that
too,
area.
so it was like.
But
Tastes like
the
pennies.
reason why I ask is because a lady friend of mine who she self-admittedly said, she likes to go bass to mouth, and it was because the guy wanted it, and she wanted to please him in every sense, and she went for it. She didn't particularly like it.
Bass to mouth is ASS.
They're not a match.
Yes, bass.
With like
bass to
the
mouth.
fish, like the fish,
Yeah.
bass, right?
And-
like you're kissing a
yeah.
bass.
Like-
Yeah.
Instead of saying
He's
Like,
trying to make sure
he goes
YouTube
in
doesn't
there.
knock us
I
off.
think she got it,
Yeah.
guys.
He
I
goes
think
in
she
there,
got
and
it.
then
I
they
think she got
go.
it. I
He
think
goes
she
in
got
there,
it.
and then he
I
goes.
think she
Yeah.
got it.
Like
Is there
you-
like a special like?
I'll finish. And because he wanted it, she didn't particularly want it, but because he wanted it, she went for it, and so she began to like it in a sense, which is why I ask, do you want to do things on your own accord, or is it because someone else has asked you to do it that you then take a liking to it, or then you think all guys like this particular thing?
I think you would try something. I think the first one. Unless it was something like if it's something I want to try, then I'll try it. My cat is going nuts. I'm sorry. But if it's something I'm gonna let you know I want to try something. And then if it's something you want to try, then and I'm not too into it, I'm gonna consider it because you want it. If we're in a relationship, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I would say the first one.
Yeah,
I
she
was
was in
like,
a relationship. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say too that like I was in a relationship and it was like the third year we were kind of getting bored and it was my asking, but it was also like the next time he was like, yeah, I didn't like that. So I think that it's really a part of like what we've all talked about. It's like vetting and also vocalizing what you do like and what you don't like. Because like I'm gonna tell you, if someone says like, oh, I like BDSM, I'm probably gonna say, I don't like actual pain. Like.
Funny you say that because the female I've recently been with, she's mad into it and it's not my thing at all. And she absolutely loves it. I'm just like, I can't get on board with this, man. Like it's just foreign to me. I just can't take it. A whip or a little paddle here and there, cool. But to be tied up and choked and all that sort of shit, I'm just like, that ain't my thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like,
I like it like
so
an
Nixon,
aphrodisiac. It's not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say. So you're not. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's experienced that in my life, because I've had multiple women tell me, "Hey, I really want you to put your hand right here and squeeze." And for me,
There's a way to
I was
do it,
like,
though, that's not the way.
No, just hear me out. Just hear me out. Like they were really adamant
Like-
and telling me like, "This is what I want you to do." And it made me feel a little bit nervous about doing it. I'm glad that I'm not the only person, because I'm open to all sorts of things. But then there's like, hey, like, am I hurting you? Like, there's questions I have about those kind of things.
So let me answer them, because that's a miscommunication, because I've said that to a guy before and he like actually choked me. I'm like, whoa, that is not what I was saying I like. There's a way that you literally touch on these two spots and then you push up and I can breathe perfectly fine. I'm not in pain. It's not hurting. It's just kind of passionate.
Okay, you
but I think
got
that's where the
ninja.
confusion.
You're pinching the vein.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I'm learning more and more about Mika. First, it's like one day we sus with Mika, then we giving Mika cool points for building the house. Then now we back to looking at Mika again. Like I'm confused as fuck, man.
She's giving you her instruction manual.
Yo, listen, and I'm married to the damn shit. Like, come on now.
She's giving you her instruction manual.
I'm trying to give you a breakdown because because I'm like on the I like the freaky stuff, but not too freaky. There's like a line where it's like that. I also don't like any actual pain. I like the illusion of a pain, right? So like even when you pull a girl's hair, there's guys that'll grab the hair and pull.
Oh, I've ripped extensions out. Yeah, believe me. But the throat stuff.
Me too, dude.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. So you grab the hair. Look, I'm grabbing the hair. I'm grabbing it this way, and instead of I know, right? Instead of like pulling on it, I'm squeezing it so that I'm like grabbing it and squeezing it. I'm not pulling it.
Yeah.
Because
take notes.
That feels pleasurable instead of like that feels squeezing it and tightening it. Like if you
that's what you like.
No, but I'm saying that's
the long
conversation with women. If you have a conversation with a woman that says like, "Oh, I like this," then the man can ask, "Do you actually like being choked out where you don't like you're not able to breathe for a couple seconds, or do you just want me to like be tight?" And she's like, "Oh, I want you to be tight," or "Oh, I want to pass out." Like whatever the fuck it is that she wants, you can have that dialogue. I just think people should have. I've been lucky enough where I have these dialogues with the people that I'm with, like an actual relationship. I love having these conversations because I get to know like. I knew a guy that he did not like anything where like if I were to like scratch accidentally or anything because he was like, I just don't like any sort of physical pain whatsoever. And I was cool with that. So I had to know
or did he not want you to leave a mark so his girlfriend didn't find out?
Yo, you don't like
there's some sideways heads turning on that one.
All right, fellas. So we gotta give some warm. Yeah,
Wes!
We gotta give you some warm respect. What's going on, Wes? Welcome to the Great Pill Podcast, sir. So, Wes, like always, man, I'm not gonna keep you dangling because I see you on YouTube street. So I'm gonna make sure you get your word here, okay? I know you got thoughts like everybody else. You're a very well-educated man. So, what's your thoughts on the conversation that you heard thus far, and do you believe that size matter?
Honestly, I've never perplexed much about whether or not size matter. I haven't run into that problem before. So thoughts and prayers to you guys.
Oh, jazz.
Emotional damage.
I think you fit in with a Great Pill Podcast, sir.
Now as for the conversation that I walked into, I heard a few interesting things, and right when I popped in, Mika's talking about, her little fetishes there. And just a moment ago, she said she has limitations. Like, I don't know what limitations there are beyond. She's saying, "Hey, baby, can I shave your butthole?"
It was a conversation.
Were you drunk?
It was like, no, I was sober. We were together for like 3 years, and I was like, "Hey, I want to try this." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I will do all of it. I'll even shave your butthole." He's like, "You'll shave my butthole." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like,
"So you initiated it?"
And then
you instigated it?
And then he's like, "You gotta yeah, I did." And then he's like, "Let me think about it." And I was like, "Okay." Because we had been together for like 3 years. We had been together for 3 years, and it was getting a little like repetitive on the what we were doing. It was just like nothing exciting.
Let's put a pin on that.
Baby, I want to lick your butthole. How do you open that conversation?
Hold on. Let's put a pin on that, Wes. So what's your thoughts so far, Wes? And do you think size matters?
And I should also say we were engaged at the time.
Okay, we'll put a pin on it. We'll put a pin on that.
I'm not sure how being engaged changes the context there.
Exactly.
Thanks for volunteering that. Okay. Does size matter? It really depends on you and your partner and what truly matters between the two of you. I've read plenty of different things, but ultimately, and especially, we're going to do a comparison between, your 18-year-old self and your 30-year-old self and your late 30s self. At a certain point, you realize that there's more to it than just going, there's more to life. Eventually you start realizing that emotions matter too, and that you're going to want something more stable. So when you look at stories. Like the story that comes to mind is Drake for that hot sauce reason, but he has people paid to like go out and find these girls and like do all the background checks and blood and blood work on them before he will do anything with them. This is a man that has no love. This is a man that has no true understanding of the value of a partnership, an equal in your life. So some men will look at that and be like, "Oh, I wish I could be that guy." Don't be jealous of that guy. He's not enjoying anything that he does. That's why he has to keep doing all these weird things.
Yeah.
So the size, now how that relates to how size matters, what really matters is how you and your partner feel about each other. And what is your chemistry when you are together? Because it's not all just missionary style. We were talking about ways you had to retrain an ex. I was with a girl once, and I was like the second guy that she was with. Her first guy she was with, her husband, he was very strictly, like very weirdly missionary style, and like her job was to just lay there. It was really weird. So like it was very awkward between us. So I had to be very adjusting to that and allowing her to finally have an ability to express herself. But it's how the two of you communicate with each other and what truly makes each of you happy. So it doesn't have to be about size. It could be just about how you're doing different things. And if, shaving booty holes are your way you get your rocks off, I suppose that works for you, and I'll be happy for you. But it's
well said. Well said. All right.
I'm gonna bounce out.
I'd like to pose a question. And
sure.
Mika's already answered this, but let's go around and I want to ask, what's the weirdest thing that you do with a partner?
Oh, that's a good question. We just pivot and just move the goalposts. Jesus Christ.
That was just one time, guys.
We ain't talking about you now. He's asking everybody. You're asking everybody, right, Wes?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
So we can do a comparative analysis.
Okay, cool. He's
the weirdest thing you've done. Everyone's face is like, "Oh fuck this."
He's used as a guinea pig, but since we got our guest, Robin K, would you like to partake in an answer to the question?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're fine. We're not gonna press nothing. We're not gonna press no issue about it.
She's gonna hear everyone else and be like, "Wow, I'm not that abnormal."
So the weirdest thing, I thought of one, but I'll say this: cemetery. Okay, everybody gonna look at me now.
Wait, was it on accident or by request? Like it was planned, or it's just where it was?
It's kind of like the heat of moment. I was like a little bit after high school-ish. We was like didn't want to wait till we get to her house, and then we was right there, and we was like trying to find some place to go, and like, oh, nobody's going there. Just ran in there and did our thing.
That's dumb, but that's okay because you were 18, and afterwards you're like, maybe that wasn't that great. Because I know of people that have randomly tried to do it like off in the woods and stuff, and they come out with poison ivy. So
I've done the woods too. I thought the woods is normal. Okay, you know what? Everybody else,
yeah, man, it's nature. You're just in nature. You're in nature, right? It's cool.
In a tent would be fine because you're not exposed to the ants and stuff.
Thank you, Poppy. What about you, bro? Because I know you hardcore. So what's up? He's playing around his phone. Nixon, Primal.
I guess that everybody's idea of like freaky or weird is different, right? Because like I got no problem licking a butt or whatever, incorporating a third player or I don't know, whatever the fingers going in places, like whatever floats your boat, but the thing that really for me that was weird was when somebody asked me to choke them. That was weird for me, and that was the thing that felt the most weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, once you get it right, it's okay.
Yeah. Did you do it though? Did you do it though?
Oh, I did. Oh yeah, hell yeah, I did it. Come on, man, come on.
The thing to remember there is this isn't the MMA. You're not trying to like.
Look at me, man. Look at me. Come on, I'll keep it 100. Like he says, "Are you gonna choke him, man? I'm gonna choke him, man." I think that's how it's gonna be. So
the thing to remember there is you don't want to hit the. You're not trying to do this. You're not. It's not MMA. You're not trying to knock a
I'm
bitch out there.
not going to choke slam her like the Undertaker.
No, you want to hit the jugular veins. You're a nurse. You know how it works. You want to gently press on the jugular veins. That way you're not. Yeah, there you go.
What about you? What about you, Nixon?
I will teach you.
First time my ex asked me to choke, I was a bit weirded out because she. Let me put it this way: your definition of
that's the weirdest thing, Joe.
No. Something else. That was the first part, and just to go back to your whole point, lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. She was the definition of that, right? Would not suspect that at all. So that's what caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But more recently, a couple of weeks ago, actually, the BDSM chick wanted me to grab her. Collar and pull her back whilst in doggy position and whip at the same time. And I'm doing my thing and I'm just like, what the hell am I involved in, man? It was just weird, but he got the job done. But I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm heading off to the gym now. But Primal, next time you're with a lady friend and you're in that doggy position, reach around and grab her neck, man. Trust me, but not don't squeeze too hard.
Like a horse, right? Like I'm riding a horse?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Nick is already doing these ones, man.
I'm quite the equestrian. I know what's up. Yeah.
I appreciate
That's
you.
What
I feel
it
like
is.
I'm like a 16-year-old.
All right.
I'm like,
See everyone.
And
Minka, good luck to your date. If you're going to Outback after this, he's going to have one hell of a time.
Nixon, everybody, Nixon. Shout out to him. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. So I appreciate everybody for coming in again.
We wrap it up in here?
Okay.
I thought we don't wrap it up in here.
All right, I gotta get one of these. This one I'm glad
we wrap it up in here, sir.
This one I'm glad I play around with.
Penicillin, I say.
Kevin Samuels got nothing on me.
That is a great little punching thing.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Is that Dragon Ball Z?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't jack that up, bro. Don't jack that, bro.
Yeah. So it's not Dragon Ball Z?
No, it's Ninja Scroll. No, it's Ninja Scroll. And nerds were everywhere will come at you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that.
Poppy, just let them have their thing, Poppy. Let them have their thing. It's fine.
Don't bring you down. You don't. No. All right, fellas.
You moved us down. You're so petty. You are mudded. Woo, you're petty.
I got the power. Okay, anywho. We're going to go around by final thoughts. But again, hit the subscribe button. If you're new, I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button, the likes, comment. It helps her out down the line. And expect more to come for next week and during the weekend come. Just to confirm, and I do want to give apologies to especially someone out there. And I'm not going to throw Mika's business out there, but something personal happened to her end. We had scheduled for the past Wednesday to do something, but I decided to make a choice of it to just cancel it, period, because 9 to 10 times I go out my way to try not to do anything on this podcast without her. You know what I'm saying? So the people here, minus Wes and Robin, and my homeboy Deuce is out serving the country and dealing with the Russia-Ukraine situation. They're primarily the main guys that always helps out the Great Pill podcast when it's needed at the when we do reaction videos and so forth. So for them, I thank them, but I try not to do anything else without Mika here. You know what I'm saying? So something came up personally. It's her business. I went ahead and made the call on it and said if she's not gonna come, it's a wrap. And I didn't want her to come in on the back end and have it feel some kind of way. So I'm gonna take responsibility for that. So Classic Ruby, I apologize because I didn't reach out to her at all. I didn't give her rescheduling. I didn't say nothing. When Mika said, hey, this happened, when she was down, I'm down, and I just canceled everything. So I just want to apologize to her about that one. Hopefully she reaches out and we can reschedule something for next week, next Wednesday. If not, that's fine. I can understand that. But final thoughts going to West.
Oh, well, final thoughts on the ultimate, question there. Does size matter? No, it doesn't. What matters is what's going on between you and your partner. How much do you love and respect each other? How much do you love and respect yourselves? Okay. That's nothing outside of that will ever matter. It's between you and your partner. And because somehow I got skipped on my own question, The answer is biting. I bite a lot.
All right.
Don't find someone that likes biting.
All right.
They all
out
like
there.
biting. Okay.
Super free.
Oh.
Super free
They all
there.
like
All
biting.
right.
It's called marking my territory.
Okay.
Oh, you leave the mark. Okay.
But isn't that kind of high schoolish though? Because I know grown chicks try to put hickeys on people, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like that's just me. Like, don't put no hickey on me. We didn't. If we're married or living together, maybe. But even then, it's like, why would you do that? That's
That's
me
for
for
adolescents.
women.
That's for a novice. I'm an expert.
Okay. Each his own. What about you, Primal?
Got to get off mute. It was a fun conversation. I think that size matters to a degree, but only on the extremes. If you're somewhere in the middle, then it nobody really cares. I feel like if you're 80% of the population, then most people are just going to be fine with it. And if you're on the 20% on the big or the low side, then you might have some issues. But yeah, great stream, lots of fun. Tomorrow, shameless plug, we'll go 8:30 Central Time, PM. Come check it out. We'll have a fun chat on primal studies. Come be a part of the discussion.
Oh, do you have a topic already, or?
I don't. I'll come up with something fun, and if there is a ask that people have, just reach out to me and let me know.
Okay, cool. I'll think of something of mine then. Mika, do you want Robin? Mika.
Go ahead,
She
Robin.
distracted, bro.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Robin, and appreciate you, Robin, for being a sport for everything, because we like to joke around and stuff and actually have good conversation. Mm-hmm. And number one, especially in the Great Pill podcast, the first, especially when we have women on, we're not going to force you about your age. It's definitely going to make you feel uncomfortable. So if we ask a question, again, we're all adults, just like when we're in your home or if you're a guest over here. So if you say no, it's no. So we're not going to press the issue.
No, thank you for having me on the podcast today, and it was a good conversation, interesting conversation. I've seen a couple of the episodes, and so I was kind of ready for it.
Okay.
Final thoughts are: I don't think it matters. I'm going to agree with Wes on this one, and my original answer, I think it's about how you connect with somebody. Once you connect with them, I think you can work around any issue you have.
Okay, I'll go with that, and I'll get my final thoughts. Let Mika go last. Give her time to stop sexting whoever she's sexting with. But
I'm replying to the chat.
Okay, thank you for doing your job. Boom. Anywho, but yeah, my final thoughts is I'm pretty much well-rounded and everything. Got to have the conversation. But when I say conversation, most people say, well, it's not that they run to the girl and say, hey, I'm 2 inches or I'm 6 inches tall. No. Do everything that you can just to vet as closely. If it happens to that situation, make sure you have a mature woman, because if she laughs, clearly that's not the woman for you, because you may can please her in everything else in other formats to kind of add more value to on that end for the quote unquote size and girth. Same thing with the ladies. Hey, if you seen the guy and he's not what you expect or what you look for, but all the other boxes check out, hey, let's have these conversations. Okay, are you a good kisser? Or can you do cunnilingus real well? Can you finger me? Can you do all these extra stuff? Shavings of the the woo-ha? I don't know. So if you can do all these other things to kind of balance out to get that close to that 100% of orgasmic or sexual proclivity of stuff, then there you go. And know your body too, because some women don't, just like these women just explained, you don't know your body. So take the time out, know your body. Don't disrespect the next guy if it is not the size you want to be, because we have too many guys in this world, in this space, that feels too much anxiety as it is. And they're not going to tell you, because guys, men, their pride is too high. So that's my final thought on that one. What you got for us, Mika Meek?
So I think that size does matter, but I don't think that it's everything. I think that if you have that connection with that special somebody, you can work it out. I've tested it out myself, and I think that it is important to know your body. Yeah, I've been with guys with small wee-wees. I said that earlier. It's not shock.
And guys with big wee wees. She's
she's
an equal opportunity wee wee.
Yeah, I'm not ageist. I'm not wee weeist. I said it earlier. The one time that I had an orgasm,
that's going to be the new discriminatory factor. Is I got a big wee wee.
Yeah, shout out to Marcus for giving us the promotion for the Blue Chew. Enter Blue Chew code word Blue Chew, 20% off discount, especially if you're on a 6-month hiatus. Thank you, Marcus. But you know what, Marcus? Screw you at the same time too, because it'd come out better if you was on here and you said that. But you know what? We're good. Love you, brother. There you go.
God damn it. I forgot what the one time I got an orgasm from penetration alone was from a small wee-wee, the smallest wee-wee. So that's why I'm saying, like, I think that it works out whatever happens, especially if you have that emotional and mental connection. And I think that, you know, you got to get to know yourself and get to know your partner. And I would not know that I don't like eating salad or receiving salad if it wasn't for the fact that I tried it.
Okay. There we go. On that note, again, ladies and gents, every Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Time, you can find us there. Any updates on the scheduling, we will let y'all know. You'll see all the descriptions. You can find us at Gray Pill Podcast. Subscribe, like. Gotta go ahead and get her out there. She gonna make us. She's not gonna have us make money before we even try to make money. But anyway, you can find us at the Gray Pill Podcast. Hit the subscribe button, click the like, share with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or even topics you want us to bring up, please let us know. All right, appreciate you. Where's the little bud?